The good news is the elite across the world trust each other more and more, so we can come together and design and do beautiful things together. The bad news is that in every single country they were polling, the majority of people trusted that elite less. So we can lead, but if people aren't following, we're not going to get to where we want to go.
But human rights are just like heaven and like God. It's just a fictional story that we've invented and spread around. It may be a very nice story. It may be a very attractive story. We want to believe it. But it's just a story. It's not a reality. It is not a biological reality. Just as jellyfish and woodpeckers and ostriches have no rights, Homo sapiens have no rights also. Take a human, cut him open, look inside, you find their blood, and you find the heart and lungs and kidneys, but you don't find there any rights. The only place you find rights is in the fictional stories that humans have invented and spread around. And the same thing is also true in the political field. States and nations are also, like human rights and like God and like heaven, they too are just stories. A mountain is a reality. You can see it, you can touch it, you can even smell it. But Israel or the United States, they are just stories, very powerful stories, stories we might want to believe very much, but still they are just stories. You can't really see the United States. You cannot touch it, you cannot smell it. Many, maybe most legal systems are based on this idea, this belief in human rights.
Basically, the coffee that we all drink emits between 15 and 20 tons of CO2 per ton of coffee. So we should all know that this is every time we drink coffee, we are basically putting CO2 into the atmosphere. One of the reasons is because most of the coffee plantation, or most of the coffee is produced through monoculture, and monoculture is also affected by climate change. The quality of these nature assets is deteriorating quite rapidly.
The World Economic Forum, they are, truly frightening. This is a group of elites that, every conspiracy theory, every, Star Chamber movie it's almost like a parody of itself. They've got a guy with a German accent that leads it, a bald Bond villain. And they truly believe that they can take the world and violate all of human nature and make a new world. What are your thoughts on the World Economic Forum?
Well, it should be disappeared, intellectually speaking, because, yes, it is a powerful force, and they're using the same tools that I'm advocating for liberty. You take a guy like Soros and others before the World Economic Council came, that they got a hold of the educational system, and then they moved along from there. Our universities were there. And even with COVID, it looks like they've taken over completely the medical profession, which is really sad and
scary.
But at the same sense, a few people have awakened, and they know this, and more people know what's going on during the lockdown than they did before the lockdown. And they're looking like the American people are ready to resist that. They are
right,
bad
Shalom.
news.
All praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha, Quadash. Double honor to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone. And peace and mercy to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect. I'm the brother Yawanathan, back with another quick lesson, Lord willing is edifying. And I'm here looking at some social media concerning WEF, all right, the World Economic Forum. All eyes was on Davos 2024. we all want to see what you wicked elites have so-called planned for us, the people. And I'll tell you one thing. The people is not going for the WEF. All right? These people all over Twitter and these different social media networks, especially Twitter, well, were formerly known as Twitter. Elon Musk bought it, called it X, rebranded it or whatever. And he's proclaiming that this is a safe space for freedom of speech, which is supposed to be an inherited right, a God-given right, according to the American Constitution, quote unquote. It's supposed to be, a human right, man, something you're born with, something that nobody can take away from you, which is your ability to voice your opinion, to disagree with something if it goes against your best interests. And so, I'm getting a kick out of this because I'm looking at it. I seen that the WEF, they also said they want to slow down coffee production. They're saying that all these people that's drinking coffee, they added on to the CO2 emission. Some of these videos are here. When you just scroll down, you can see like the top posts that contain WEF in the description. Whatever you look up on Twitter, they'll just show you the post. You could go latest people. I'm kind of not new to it, but I don't really be on social media like that. But I heard that Twitter is actually a good place for sourcing information. So I went on here, I typed in WEF, and lo and behold, a lot of the people's voice is against the WEF. They don't want the WEF. They don't want the agenda of the elites, even though they're promising world safety and, a better planet, and they're going to save the world. The people are actually not falling for it, to my surprise. And then I had to go back to the scriptures and meditate on it. And this is actually Job, the 20th chapter, man. All right, this is Job 20 and 22. In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. And this verse is a good example of why you need to go into the Hebrew. All right, let's go into the Strong's lexicon. In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Let's look what that word straits means. In the Hebrew, yasar, it means to bind, be distressed, to be in distress, be cramped, be narrow, be scant, be in straits, to make narrow, cause distress, besiege, to suffer distress. So it also says here to be vexed. And I'm sure that's exactly what all these people's voice all over social media, I'm sure that's what it's doing to the leaders of the World Economic Forum, and really just the elites of the world in general, starting with the so-called white man, Esau, Edom, the elites of the Edomites, all right, the wicked that the Bible speaks of, Job 9 and 24. I'm pretty sure that's exactly what they're going through right now, because they see that there's a lot more resistance than they expected. All right, a lot more people are actually hip and aware. They privy to their agendas. They know that it's a secret evil scheme. All right, according to 2 Corinthians 2 and 11, when you read it in the NLT, in the KJV, it says, for we are not ignorant of Satan's devices. Satan can't get an advantage of us because we're not ignorant of his devices. Roughly paraphrasing, when you read it in the NLT, it says the same thing, but it says we are not ignorant of his evil schemes. So it's good to see that we're not the only ones hearing this truth, that believe on Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, that believe in Bible prophecy and the word, every single word of the Holy Bible. It's good to see that other people who they don't even have nothing to do with the Bible and so-called, what you would say, Hebrew Israelitism or whatever, Israelitism, that's what vocab calls it. But it's good to see that people outside of that circle is also aware, and they fighting back, so to speak, in their own way, because that literally proves that this man is in straits. All right, he's getting ready to finally fulfill his wet dream. Everything that he's been wanting to do for the last couple centuries, even since really the beginning, he's finally right there. He got his fingers on it. as it says, in the fullness of his sufficiency. So meaning right when he's about to complete it, he shall be in straits. He's going to be in a position where it's difficult for him to fulfill this thing. And why is it being made difficult? Because every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. When you go into that word wicked, in the Hebrew, it's not Rashai. It's not the guilty one. All right, when you read about the wicked of the Bible, it's talking about the so-called white man, Esau, Edom. And there's a particular Hebrew word for that, for wicked, and it's Rashai in the Hebrew, which means the guilty one, you know, the condemned, the one who's not going to be forgiven. But when you read it here in Job 20 and 22, it's H6001, which is Imo. It's not the Hebrew word Rashai. It's not really talking about a person that's wicked as far as, you know, inherently they're wicked, meaning they go against the law, statute, commandments of the Bible. It's not necessarily talking about that. It's talking about laborers. See, laborer, sufferer, wretched one, laborer, workman, toiling. That's what the word wicked here means. All right, a laborer, toiling. Basically people who are slaves. All right, people who are enslaved under the so-called white man's oppressive system. All right, which is really, you know, all over the world. Because even when you go to South America and other places, other remote places of the world, they still underneath the oppression of the bankers. All right, that's why they suffering so much hyperinflation. That's why the economy is shot, wrecked, and destroyed. And why, you know, things are so bad down there. When you watch these documentaries in you know, the Caribbean islands and things like that, you see what Jake is doing. It's because the so-called white man has already basically implied his agendas in these nations, and that's a result of it. You got a bunch of people who are working, if you even still have that, because you do have a so-called unemployment crisis right now, not only in America, but like I said, other Caribbean islands, Jamaica and South America. You got people who can't find work. And so because they can't find work, what are they going to rely on? They're going to commit crime. All right. And the so-called white man, he knows all of this. He has strategically put these systems in place to basically keep the people oppressed and underneath him so that they can never rise up. But it says that every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. So now we see a rise in people who really, they look like they're not going for it, man. They look like they really legitimately going to make a stand against the implementation of this new world order. All right, against the new banking system, which is on the blockchain system, which is CBDC. You know, them wanting to set up that digital global economy. You got people that are speaking against it because they know, they could see the bullshit. Not the bullshit, but they could see the evil undertone of it. All right, on how it's taking away your privacy. You know, it's locking you in. It's locking you into their database where pretty much you have no more privacy. People can see that. So I'm just rejoicing right now. I'm rejoicing in the spirit that I could see this, because it's a part of prophecy. Now, what's the next thing that's going to happen out of this? What is the so-called white man going to do about all these people on the internet, all over Twitter? All right, I'm gonna just scroll through a few posts just so you can see what I'm saying. You know, people are not going for it. They literally speaking against it openly. You know, right here on social media, right here on X, formerly known as Twitter. You got people that are exposing these agendas, man. They coming right against the WEF through social media, and this is what they've been calling disinformation. This is what they've been calling hate speech. And this is what soon they're going to roll out their next part of their agenda in warring against whatever they deem disinformation. So anyone who's speaking publicly against what they're doing, get ready to be persecuted. That's the next thing. All right. That's the next step in this thing. And that begins with us first, the prophets. All right. Because we're the ones that's truly standing up against the workers of iniquity. In the name of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. You got people doing it, but they doing it for their own reasons. All right, we're doing it because we're performing the will of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua on the right hand side, here in the last days. We fulfilling the prophecy of the Israelites who would wake out of their sleep and stand against those that oppress us. All right. That's the part of the lot that we're in. The prophets, the hopeful elect, the men of the Lord. You know, the men of Great Millstone in particular. All right. So yeah, all the other people who's speaking against it, they're going to come against y'all people, man. They're going to come down on you people with more tighter restrictions, you know, taking away your freedoms, so-called, your liberties, and etc. And you people are not going to be able to do nothing, all right? Because this is the will of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua on the left hand. See, the Most High, he's actually working with the so-called white man through Satan, all right? Through what, you know, the spiritual demon Satan. The spiritual entity is actually working with the elites of the Edomites. So that being said, you can't resist it. You can't really go against it. All right, because it has to be performed, because it's in the prophecy of the Bible. It has to come out this way. The microchip, it will be made mandatory because it is the mark of the beast according to the Bible. All right, so you can try to stop these people from doing what they're supposed to do, but then you'll be fighting against the Most High. What we're supposed to do is obviously resist all appearances of evil. All right, we're supposed to resist the devil and he's going to flee. All right, the Most High is going to take care of him. We're not fighting against this man as far as, like, you know, trying to stop him from doing what he's supposed to do, because we understand that he's programmed to do that. He's created to do that. Proverbs 16:4. All right, Proverbs 21:1. These are just a couple of scriptures that tell you that whoever's really in rulership, the Most High put them in rulership. Job 4:17. All right, Psalm, I think it's 75. You know, the Most High setteth up one and putteth down another. So, hey, the Most High, Yahweh, and his son Yahushua is the one ultimately behind the weft. All right, on the left hand, they're giving them the power and the knowledge and wisdom to perform what the Most High wants them to perform, which is to establish that new world order and microchip people. All right, there's nothing that anybody could do against that. So the next step is, how is the so-called white man going to deal with all of the resistance, especially when they really physically implement these agendas? Because right now they're just talking and the people are going crazy, you know, voicing their opinions, speaking against what they're saying. But how are they going to deal with it? Or what is the so-called white man going to do when he actually is physically carrying out his agenda and you got people who are resisting? Don't they call it resisting arrest? That's a fucking criminal charge, man. Here it is, the cop is trying to put you in handcuffs and you resisting and not following his orders, and now you got more criminal charges stacked up against you on top of what you already initially did to get arrested. So this man is not going to just let you people ruin his plans, all right? In his mind, he's dead set for this thing. He could see that it doesn't matter. What he does is over. He knows that. He could see that, all right? Mainly because the Hebrew Israelites. That's why we're the reminder to him that he ain't gonna get away with this, but he's still gonna try. He's not just gonna walk away and take a L. All right, the so-called white man, this is what he's gonna do. Revelation 12:12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. All right, so they could see that their power doesn't really work the same no more. All right, 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago, they'll be able to get up on a world stage, say the shit that they saying, and nobody could challenge them. All right, but now times are different. Why is that? Because the Most High is taking away their kingdom from them. All right. And he's getting ready to hand it over to Jacob, which is the Israelites, starting with Yahushua, our Lord and Savior, who you ignorantly call Jesus Christ. All right, the heavenly Son of the Heavenly Father, he's going to inherit all things. So here it is, we getting ready to welcome Yahushua to the earth, all right, based on the signs of Matthew 24 and 2nd Esdras 9. We getting ready for Yahushua to come back, set up the kingdom of heaven. And ultimately, to do that, he got to take these devils out, all right, because the throne of iniquity cannot. So this man is not ready to let his kingdom go, all right? He's going to basically with force. Like they said in a Black Adam movie, this dude from the Justice, whatever they call it, I forgot what they call it. Not the Justice League, but I forgot what they call themselves. That Hawkman dude, the one that the Jake played, the character that the Jake played. He told Black Adam, they come in to restore peace and they'll use force if necessary. And Black Adam said force is always necessary. And he just started wilding on them. So basically, I say that to make this point is that it is going to be a war, man. This man's not going to let his kingdom just give it up. All right. He's not going to let you people interfere with his plans. So what is he going to do? He's going to destroy a lot of you people, man. You people that are out there speaking against the New World Order, I love to see it, but the Lord is not working with you people. He's with the prophets. He's with his people, the Israelites, in particular the Israelite men. All right, his servants, the prophets. That's who the Lord is dealing with, and that's the ones who's going to stop these people. And that really begins with Yahushua, but Yahushua setting up the men of the Lord, the prophets. What the hell are we here doing? All right, we waking up our people. The Most High is waking them up, but he's using us as the mouthpiece to speak the words of truth onto them. All right, so that it could be a seed planted in their mind, and the Lord basically work on their spirit and wake them up. And ultimately, the more of the elect that wake up, is a certain number, but once that number is completed, that's the end of this man's rulership, because the elect is not taking the chip. So as long as the elect has a spirit to resist the microchip, this man essentially he lost, because that's part of his goal, is to chip everybody. If there's people on the earth that he can't chip and that he can't kill and can't do nothing to, aka the elect, then his plans crumbles, man, right under his feet. He can't do anything. He's rendered powerless, man. All right, because he's a control freak. This man he has a God complex, and he thinks he's just going to do what he wants, like the Most High does what he wants, but that's not going to happen. All right, so I'm happy, man. I'm happy to see this. I hope, they get this civil war thing popping off soon, and the people fucking stand up, man, and go out there and riot and fight and protest against all of this, because the sooner they do that, the sooner this man is going to bring out his troops and his weapons and dismantle the resistance. All right, and the sooner he'll bring in his MOTB, aka the microchip, and the sooner he does that, the sooner we out of here. Because then World War III could finally go hot. All right, could go nuclear, and then America, Babylon the Great, will be destroyed. Okay, and then Yahushua is going to come and save his elect from that destruction and set up the kingdom of heaven on earth. So we look forward to these things, man. I'm fucking excited, man. We living in some beautiful times. 2024, the year of Jacob's trouble. And the more you people resist, the more they're going to come with force to break you. So that is Jacob's trouble, man. You could put that in there. All right. But we know you Israelites, 2/3 of you're not the ones speaking against anything. You going along with everything, which is why you're gonna die the worst deaths. I'm talking about, it's really the so-called white man who's coming against his own people. Matter of fact, I ended off on that note. All right, Psalm the 64th chapter. It's mainly them. All right, but they're gonna cause trouble for the rest of the people, because the more people resist and fight against and don't comply with the rules, the more stricter they're gonna get with these rules, the more draconian they're gonna get with their laws and forcing you people to do it. So everybody's gonna feel the wrath of the elite, so to speak, man. And the only ones who's gonna be spared from that is the elect. Hey, Psalm 64, and the point is in verse 8. It says, "So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves, all that see them shall flee away." So that's what they have been doing lately. You have whistleblowers, you got all these people who they coming out and they claiming they have inside information, whether they were on the inside or they know someone inside, and they're coming out and exposing what the real agenda is behind all the fluff and puff, behind everything that sounds good and sweet. And they want to make the world a better place and all of this bullshit. You got their own tongues. falling on them, telling you no, they want to microchip you. That's really the goal. And so because of that, now you have people basically resisting them, all right, because they've been exposed, man. How are the things of Esau searched out? You devils already lost. Your plans was always supposed to be in secret. Nobody was ever supposed to know. And if nobody ever knew, you would have been able to get away with it flawlessly, like the way you planned it. But once again, you're not the Most High, all right? Yahweh Bashim Yahushua does what he wants. And what he wants, what his good pleasure is to give the kingdom to Israel, not to Esau, not to Edom. All right, so you people are done. And just do whatever the fuck you got to do. Hurry the fuck up. All right, and with that, I'm going to say, call hello, Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Hope and pray this lesson was edifying to the elect. And to the next time, Shalom.